What's going on, guys? Briar Rabbit here. Today we're going to talk about the best and the worst parts of Update 2.0. We're going to start off with the best. We're going to move on to the worst, and some of the stuff in the worst column actually is already being addressed, or Bungie is talking about it. It's either a bug or something they're actively working on right now, so that's good. But let's start off with the best stuff, and what I want to talk about first is the new weapon system. This is a huge change to Destiny 2. It feels like a really cool way of kind of combining the best of Destiny 1's weapon system with Destiny 2's weapon system. And the best part about it is how many options we have to customize our loadout. You know, if you want to go triple shotguns, you can go triple shotguns. You can do it in PvP. You can do it in PvE. If you want to combine a shotgun and a sniper rifle with a boop cannon, you can do it. If you want to have a primarily short range loadout, you've got that option. If you want a long range loadout, you've got that option. You've got a ton of different guns and ways to make that happen. I think this is a really good weapon system. I can't wait to see how it applies with the Year 2 weapons, because right now we've only got access to Year 1 weapons, and it's been a lot of fun kind of discovering, what weapons went to which slot. Things that used to be power weapons are now primaries or secondaries. They're energy weapons now, and it feels... It's a lot of fun just discovering this stuff. The newness factor is definitely a real thing. Will we like this long term? We'll have to wait and see. But right now, I'm absolutely in love with it. Again, it's all about just options. And that's one of the promises that I thought was so intrinsic to Destiny, is the fact that you have all these weapons out there. Now it feels like you have all these ways to use those weapons. And that's huge. Next up, the faster time to kill in the Crucible. This version of the Crucible, to me, is just straight up more fun. I wasn't a hater of the old Crucible with the slower time to kill. Yes, there was a lot of team shotting. Yes, it was slower to kill people. There were fewer big plays happening. This is more fun, though. I can honestly say that. I like the fact that there's more special weapons around, or there are special weapons around to begin with, and you can go around and you can create big plays because of that. You don't have to just stick with your team all the time. It's just more fun this way, I think. I know there's going to be a lot of people who disagree with me. I know there is. What's happening right now is we're kind of adjusting to the new meta. We're adjusting to seeing shotguns and sniper rifles and fusion rifles being in play all the time, and it can be frustrating to some extent. But I think as we get used to it, what we're going to find is that there's just more happening at any point in time. It's not just two teams grabbing butts, shooting at each other from around corners. You got more movement around the map. You got more people doing daring things, hoping to go for that huge play. And that, to me, is a lot of fun. It feels more like Destiny 1 in that way. And, I think that the chips are laid on the table. I think that, for the most part, people prefer Destiny 1's gameplay over Destiny 2, especially in the Crucible, and I think this feels a lot more like Destiny 1. In addition to that, it feels like headshots matter more right now than they did previously, especially in the Crucible, where a lot of guns, you'd get the same time to kill if you hit, let's say, 2 body shots and 2 headshots. Now you really have to hit those headshots to get the best time to kill. It's increased the skill gap, and I think that's always a good decision for, anything that is a competitive game mode. The more skill gap there is, the more reason you feel you have to get better, the more reason there is to practice, the more rewarded you feel as you get better. I really like this increased emphasis on hitting headshots. I kind of like the new director. It's not perfect, I'll talk about that later, but I kind of like the way that milestones seem to be less important. The milestone tab specifically seems to be less important. The milestone tab to me always just felt like a to-do list that was just waiting for me and baiting me to, get on that list. And it was a constant reminder of the stuff I hadn't done and the stuff, frankly, I had no intention of doing. Now it's a little bit more based on the activity or the place that you're going to do that activity. So for instance, with Nightfalls, you could go into the Nightfall tab. You go into the Strike tab, then you go into the Nightfall tab. It'll give you a list of the 3 Nightfalls that are available to you, and you can choose off that list, deciding on what you want to do. It's not in that Milestone tab anymore. You actually got to dig down into the Nightfall. The Flashpoint this week, if you've done the Flashpoint, which I suspect you have because you can get Forsaken gear out of it, it feels like you have to go and see Anna. The activity, it just feels more organic because it's not being done from a list on the milestone tab. It's being done through Anna and on Mars. 500 opened slots in the vault. That amount of open vault space feels amazing. So a lot of us have it, 300 or so items filled up in there, but with the collection system that's coming in Forsaken next week, that's going to ease up on that. I do suppose that random rolls on items is going to allow us to fill up 500 pretty quickly, but 500 is way more than we've ever had before, and I'm glad that they've increased that amount of vault space, or to that amount of vault space. I feel like it's just going to ease that frustration that many of us feel that we can't collect everything. The collections are going to help with that. 500 slots in the vault are going to help with that, and I'm a big fan of this. All right, so that's the best. Now let's get on to the worst. Fair warning, a lot of this stuff is bugs. Bungie is working on it, or they know about it. And I'm going to start off with skill-based matchmaking is back in the Quick Play playlist. Look, it was unintentional that it disappeared from Quick Play to begin with, but the overwhelming player response to this, in my opinion, has been very positive. Yes, there have been people who don't like it. I think that in the future, Bungie really needs to think about having one playlist that has skill-based matchmaking and one playlist that doesn't, because people really liked having a non-skill-based matchmaking playlist. I think that's a very valuable thing for Bungie to implement into Destiny intentionally. I don't like that it's back. It seems to be back. I'm not positive it's back, but it certainly seems to be back. Something about the Forsaken or the Update 2.0 seems to have kind of re-enabled it into the Quick Play playlist. Bungie is looking at it. They didn't do it intentionally, but it does seem to be back. So I'd really like to see them make a decision to disable it for Quick Play and leave it enabled for the competitive playlist. Yesterday, I made a video about the bugged recoil pattern on hand cannons and how you can kind of fix it. There's been more information since then that's come to light. It affects more than hand cannons. It does affect console users as well. There's faster ways to fix it. For instance, on PC, you can just double tap the escape key, and that seems to fix it. It's much faster than going into your inventory and switching mods out. But I would like to see this get fixed as fast as possible. Bungie is aware of it. They know about it. The Sandbox team, I'm sure, is working on it. Hopefully it gets fixed. Hell, I'd like to see it get fixed like by the end of the week. This is a really important one. Again, something that Bungie is working on, explosive rounds are just crippled on some guns. The Sunshot is basically just not a usable weapon, especially in the Crucible, because it just takes too long to kill because crits don't matter. Even though it's in a archetype where it should 3-shot to the head, crits just don't seem to matter with the Sunshot, with explosive rounds, and that means it's a 4-shot kill, which means it's basically not a gun anybody's going to use, and that's too bad. So they have said they're working on that. Let's just wait and see. All right, this is a bigger one, and I think one that is probably going to be a little bit more controversial, but Titan Skating on PC, I think, is kind of in a weird spot right now. So if you don't know, Titan Skating is available to PC players by using a macro to basically spam the jump button faster than you could do it manually. It allows you to just fly through the air so fast that actually if you get up to max speed, you can hit a wall and kill yourself. The reason I'm talking about it now is because of the increased usefulness it now has for Titans. It was always good, it was always useful, but now with the insurmountable skull fort, the fact that Titans can one-shot shoulder charge you, and the fact that everybody now has access to one-shot kill shotguns, and they get ammo from it right at the beginning. It's not a power ammo thing anymore. I think it's an issue. The fact that a Titan can fly in on you so fast, it can be very hard to defend yourself, even if it's not a very good Titan, even if he's not using cover very well. If he's just flying straight at you from across the map, they go so fast that with a primary weapon, it can be very hard to deal with this. Like a hand cannon, you got to get, 3 headshots with a gun that has bugged, it has bugged stability, bugged recoil, and this Titan is going about Mach 3. Look, it's an unintentional thing that is a lot of fun for Titans to use. And normally I'd say, you got to leave that in, Bungie. If it's fun, leave it in. The problem is that because Titans have gotten so many more tools at their disposal, and those tools work so well with flying across the map at the speed of a fighter jet, like it's a little unbalanced. And the fact that you basically have to cheat to do it, I don't know. This one, like I'm torn on this one. I really like Titan skating myself. I think it's super fun. But with this new meta, with shoulder charges and shotguns everywhere, it just seems so overpowered for Titans right now. Just a little bit crazy. So that's my opinion. I know it's gonna be a little bit on the controversial side. I know people will be defending it, but I kind of think that Bungie needs to address this at this point. So that's it. Those are the worst and the best things about Update 2.0. A lot of this stuff came from Twitter. I asked this morning what you guys thought about Update 2.0 so far. A lot of you guys had some great answers. Some of them didn't make it in. I got to make a video that, isn't too long, but a lot of you guys had some great ideas that didn't quite make it in. I may make a follow up to this video with just your ideas, just kind of community suggestions. So if you've got an idea, what you think is a really good addition in Update 2.0 or something that you really think they messed up in Update 2.0, write them down in the comments. I'd like to see what you guys think about the whole situation. Overwhelmingly, though, I got to say, I am very positive about the game moving forward. I think the Forsaken DLC is going to be good. I have that feeling, but I know that the changes they made in Update 2.0, for the most part, are very positive. The weapon system, the Crucible meta, headshots, the 500 slots in the vault. Like, they've made so many changes, and now they're offering vanilla Destiny 2 for free if you're a PS Plus member. I think that shows a lot of confidence. Bungie has a lot of confidence right now, and I think that it is earned. Yeah, there's some bugs, there's some issues that I'd like to see fixed, but for the most part, I'm pretty overwhelmingly positive. So again, let me know in the comments below what you guys think are the best parts and the worst parts about Update 2.0. Let me know on Twitter as well. I'm always kind of chatting away on Twitter. That's going to do it for this video. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.